Good morning, everybody, and I'm here today to work with you on the heart chakra. So, as you know, I just want to see if I can start, which I don't think I can, a watch video with my friends, with all of you. So, I'm just waiting for a few moments for a few of you to join me, and then I will proceed because it's just such a beautiful morning out there. I'm just looking out at the green trees, the green grass, everything is green. So it's really reminding me of the chakra that we're working with today is the heart chakra. So I'll continue because I will post this for you all to watch at a later stage. And we started and we have worked with the 3 lower chakras, which was the base or the root chakra. Then we had the sacral or sacral chakra, and then we had the solar plexus chakra. So now we've moved to the 4th chakra. And as we know that everything is energy, everything in the universe is energy, and there's an innate organizing intelligence that allows that energy to run through everybody and everything. And in the human body, it runs through our meridians and it runs through our chakra system. So it's really important for us to have our chakras balanced and healthy and open so that we may live life to the fullest and that we are energetically connected to ourselves and to everybody else. So I have taken some notes. I was sitting in the back garden yesterday, writing quite a bit to share with you today. But for me, I suppose the heart chakra, all the chakras are really important. So we went to the solar plexus and we went to connecting with our power. So the heart chakra is right in the center. So it really connects, all of the material and the physical things that we have in this life with all of the higher vibrations, all of the higher chakras that connect us really to our spiritual sense of the world. So it's really, I suppose, connecting both. So it's a great balancer. So you can imagine that if your heart center is out of balance, out of kilter, maybe closed because of being hurt or because of not being able to express yourself fully in the world, it will obviously affect all of your lower chakras and your higher chakras because it really is the midpoint in your chakra system. And it's important that this midpoint is kept totally open. It's really important that all your chakras are kept open. So there's quite a lot of, I suppose, controversy around whether you should close down your chakras to protect yourself. And the answer really that I believe to that is no. Because why would you close your energy centers? Why would you stop the life force energy flowing through you? It needs to be balanced. It needs to be open. Love is held in the heart and really love dissipates everything. So if you can keep your centers open, you're going to allow the energy, the life force, the vital, you can call it chi, you can call it prana, you can call it innate intelligence, you can call it the Tao, you can call it many, many things. But that energy really needs to flow freely through all of your energy system. We're working with the 7 major chakras, and in the human chakra system, the heart is at the center. So it is the connector, it is the midpoint, it is the chakra that if it's out of balance, that your whole life is going to be out of balance because all of the material things that are connected with the lower chakras, all of the physicality is going to be upset, and all of the higher vibrations is also going to be upset. So you're going to be totally out of balance. So it's my job here today to help us all to remind ourselves of how to get back into balance. So energetically getting back into balance is what I'm really talking about. We know the heart is the center of love, it's the center of compassion, it's the center of giving, it's the center of kindness, it's the center for sharing. It really is our innate intelligence as well. So if we can only think back to the utero stage, the baby in the womb, what's the first thing that actually people can detect to know that there's actually a baby starting to form into a human being? It's the heartbeat. So when we go for those scans, what's the only thing the doctors can pick up at first? A dot and a heartbeat. So the heart is needed to actually formulate everything else. So it has to send the information to form all the other cells, all the other tissues, all the other organs. Just like the heart is needed to send all of the blood around our body, it's also needed to send all of the energy around our body. So that's why it's absolutely vital for us all to make sure that we nurture and nourish our heart center, because we really do want to have everything flowing freely, don't we? So we want our physical health, our emotional health, our mental health, and our spiritual health to be all open and flowing, so that on all levels we're well, we're healthy, we're happy, we're joyful. So you've guessed it's the colour green, and I have my flip chart up there to remind me it's the element air. So it's very light. It's, you know, it's really beautiful when our heart centre is fully open to compassion and love and caring and kindness and giving. So there are a few things that can shut down our hearts, or that can, you know, partly shut it down. And that would be, I suppose the biggest thing would be grief. You know, any sort of loss that we have in our life can really affect our hearts and shut it down, especially if it's the sudden death of a loved one or the sudden end of a relationship, or it doesn't have to be even sudden, you know, the end of anything where we feel a loss, we feel it in our heart. And very often, to protect ourselves, it's almost like we close in our heart, and yeah, we close in so that we don't feel pain. But when we don't feel the pain, we don't feel the love either. So, you know, once we open up to pure love, love dissipates the darkness, so it dissolves the pain. And we really need to work with this and to work through our heart, because it is the organ that's going to send the energy to all of your other chakras, and it is the organ that sends the blood to all of your body. So on a physical level, we need our heart to be working really well, and on an energetic level, we also need our heart to be working really, really well. So getting into nature, being still, just a minute, just 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you can imagine in nature. I want you to do something with me right now, because you know your heart actually sends information to your brain before your brain sends the signals to other parts of your body. So I want you to do, just for 1 minute, just put your hand on your heart. It's just down the center of your chest where your physical heart is, just above it. So put your hand on your heart and just say to your heart, internally, or you can say it out loud, what do you want me to know today? And then be quiet. Your heart talks to you. So just allow yourself to receive the answers, and you can start with something as simple as that. And that is how we connect deeply with our inner knowing, our intuition. We have a guiding system. It's internal. It's not outside of us. It's internal. Our guiding system knows what's right for us and what's not conducive to our well-being, to our spiritual growth, to our path of joy and happiness. Tune in. You know, when we're actually in a really happy, joyful mood is a really good time to connect with your heart and ask it for more information. But when you're sad, it's also a really good time to ask it for more information. Because sometimes, you know, I always say the darkest hours before the dawn, but sometimes when we're in the deepest of despair, we surrender. We surrender the ego self. We surrender that mind, that ever-thinking part of us that does keep us safe. But at the same time, we cannot let it rule. The heart has to rule. The heart has to be our part that's really guiding our lives, because remember, it's the center point. So it's governing really, you know, the connection between the lower and the higher self. And we're going to be moving into the higher chakras. Actually, I'm doing the throat tomorrow because I missed last week because I had a sore eye, you know, and that was really because I'm doing a lot of work in the background, helping with, you know, clearing out all of the negativity and all of the illness and the reason that this virus came in the first place, you know. So we really are raising the vibration, and we're all doing it. And when I asked the angels what I could best do to start us off, they said get all our chakras working. So to do some presentations, keep it nice and simple, keep it down to earth. And I have a few other bits and pieces written in here. Okay, so it's the first organ to form in our bodies, and I spoke about that because, you know, there's just a heartbeat, and that's what we can be picked up in the scan at first. And take time to be with your heart. Really take time to be with your heart. By placing your hand on your heart, it automatically connects you with your heart, because your intention is to connect with that part of you. And just ask it simple questions and say, what could I do about this particular situation? There are different things you can ask your heart. I wrote down a few questions yesterday. What do you have to tell me right now? So if your hand is in your heart, what do you need me to know? What do you want to tell me right now? So it could be a particular situation. So earlier on today, I was talking to somebody, and it's a difficult work situation. So in that instance, that person could just put their hand on their heart and say, what do I need to know about this particular situation? And just wait for the answer. And if it doesn't come in right there, it will come in, because the intelligence of the heart will send the information to your mind, and then you will be able to send it out through your mouth if you wish. Ask your heart, what sort of a relationship do you have with yourself? And again, do I love myself very much? How could I love myself more? How could I give myself more time? Do I trust myself? Do I have the confidence to know that I have the power within me to be, do, or have whatever I want? All of these kind of questions, and then, you could ask your heart, if you really, really are up for it, just say, if you had one wish for me, what would that be? That's a really big one, Just ask it and just see what it says. If you had one wish for me, what would that be? Because your heart will tell you. It really will. It could be, I'm not going to give any hints here, but it could be absolutely anything. Okay, so a gratitude journal, so appreciation for what we have already. We're going to talk about opening it up. Okay, so obviously any exercise that's going to open your heart like that is really good. So there are lots of yoga postures, there are lots of Tai Chi, there's lots of Qigong, there's lots of postures that will open up your heart. But even just having the intention of opening up to the universe and opening up to yourself, opening up to the energy that's flowing within you is really, really important. So appreciation. So, this morning when I was sitting down contemplating the heart center and how I could best, I suppose, give some information across that would be practical and that you could use, I said to myself, okay, so what is the easiest way for me to find appreciation? So I started with my breath, and I appreciated the fact that I was alive and healthy and breathing. I appreciated the fact that I had warm water in a shower, and I had towels to dry myself off, and clothing to wear, and food and electricity, and my list started to build and build and build. And the core appreciation is all we need, because our heart will start expanding it and it'll start to grow. And we all know that what you put out into the universe, you get back multiplied. So if you put out that you're grateful for and you appreciate people and things and yourself and your love, it will be multiplied. So you will have much, much, much more reasons to find more things to appreciate, more things to be grateful for. So it doesn't have to be complicated. Wearing the colour green or having anything green. So I went around this morning for 2 minutes and said, right, so just to remind myself, just to have green stuff. So tissues, again, this is, it's a stress ball really, but, I just use it, it's green. I make these myself. So it's a sanitizer bottle, was green. So I said, right, I'll put the green scissors, where I am. Just anything that's green. And there, for me, are just reminders. So I did say it was the center point. So I'd just like to show you this. This is really one of my healing wands. And, sometimes when people come, they want to balance their chakras. And even if they don't come knowing that, I very often ask permission to help them. So we have the base chakra with the color red, with the sacral with the color orange. And all these videos are inside my page because I have worked through these now. The solar plexus with the color yellow. And you see the midpoint here. We're on the heart with the color green. So tomorrow I'm actually going to do the next video because I missed last week. So I'm going to do the soft blue, so the throat. Again, it's a huge center for us. So I'm going to work on that. But I'm sticking with the heart center today. And, we really do need to open it up and have that energy flowing freely. We have the bottom 3 freed up. And if you really need to go back and look at those videos, please do. because we go out of kilter all of the time. So it's really important to keep ourselves aligned and keep that energy flowing. Give stuff away. Be generous, you know. You don't need to be hoarding, but apart from the hoarding, give somebody your last coin, give somebody your last bit of food, give it away. Kindness opens up your heart, but it also opens up the energy so that more can come to you. So just give it away. You know, even massaging yourself, massaging your hands, having a massage is actually really good. Again, it's anything to do with self-love and understanding, you know, that you are that love and that appreciation for yourself and for your understanding. Releasing any heart traumas that you may have held in there. And, you know, because your heart is your best friend, you know, so it's really important that if we have something stuck inside in the heart, you know, anahata means unstuck, you know, so it's a clear heart. So if we've something stuck inside in our hearts, it can't be working properly. The energy is, you know, stagnated and blocked and reduced, to say the least, inside in your heart center. So then you're blocking the flow down and you're blocking the flow up. So it's really important. And if you need help with clearing your heart and getting it unstuck, do whatever is right for you. You know, there are postures, there are people there, you know, energy healers like myself. We're there to help you with all of that. Work on your chakras, you know, unstuck your heart, unblock it. Because the universe does respond to vibration. And in the heart, it's full of emotion as well. So, you know, we talked about the emotions being here, but the heart center is connected very strongly with emotion. And emotion is vibration. And if we can release that blocked, pent up emotion, we release our hearts. And when we release our hearts, we're open to love. And I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm talking about the truth, the purity, the essence that's within you. That's really what the heart is all about, you know. A lot of people say the spirit resides inside in our heart, you know. So for me, it's the connector. And for me, the connector is my divinity, you know. So I feel that my spirit connects me from here as well. So I would be of that, I suppose, understanding as well. So, you know, the thymus gland is connected to the heart. That's the gland of eternal youth. And, you know, it's also the start of a whole system for us. So we really need to love ourselves, give love away, love everybody else. So if your heart is malfunctioning, you know, you could have physical heart problems. You could feel heavy-hearted emotionally. You could measure your love. So it could be really conditional. So, you know, you just give so much and then you pull back. And usually this is for fear of getting hurted. You could lack feeling loved. You know, even if love is coming towards you, you could just close it off and not even be aware of it. So that's a real sign that the heart center is not fully open. And you would be vulnerable to the moods of others. Now that's really important. I have so many clients that would come to me and say, I'm in a work environment and it's, you know, really toxic, or it's not conducive, or I'm in a relationship or whatever. And I pick up all their energy and I pick up all their moods. So your heart is out of balance if that's going on. So you need to clean out your heart, because if your heart is flowing freely, it'll just go through, you know, and you're not going to hold on to it. Again, you know, we talk a lot about codependent relationships, but there's two people to create codependency. And the heart, if the heart is really open, it will just be pure love. So there'll be no judgment. So when there's no judgment and there's no ulterior motive, there is no codependency. So again, this is opening up the heart. So I wrote down something that said, all cells and organs are really part of the collective consciousness of life. And all of life is energy, and the energy does organize itself into the meridians and the chakras. And remember that each chakra both absorbs and emits energy. So the chakras really are our doorway to the spiritual dimensions. So it's really imperative that we take good care of our energy system. Why wouldn't we? We take care of our physical body. We take care of our mind. But we tend to forget about our heart and our emotions and our energy in particular, people are opening up to understanding that they're energy beings, which is absolutely phenomenal. We're there, we're getting there, we're really getting there. We need to keep our energy flowing. We need to keep it open. We need to keep it flowing freely. And if our heart is totally open, it really makes it easier for us to keep our lower 3 and our higher 3 main chakras open and flowing and fluid as well. So we're going to look for things to appreciate. Okay, so there are a few things that I wrote down. We've gone through the asking our heart the questions. So if we could practice living and speaking from our heart. Now this is probably a new concept for some people, especially speaking from the heart. So to speak from the heart, there's a little bit of work, but it just gets, I suppose, automatic after a while. So everything gets filtered through the heart basically. So before you speak, you were probably told as a child, before you speak, think. But I'm saying it differently. Before you speak, ask your heart and allow your heart to bring it, because it all happens like that. So your heart will send the message to your mind will send it to your voice, and your voice will send it out. So start speaking from the heart. Express gratitude to your heart. So thanking your heart for keeping you alive and vital. There's a wall like around our heart called the pericardium, and I'm going to go into it in great detail because I don't know much of the medical jargon, but that is there to protect and nurture our heart. Okay, so it's almost like the sac that's around a baby in the womb. So if our heart is hurt, that pericardium, that wall gets thicker and stronger, but it protects it does it to protect our heart, but it's actually blocking the energy as well. So if we have been hurt, it's very often that we actually put that wall around our hearts. And we often talk about taking down the wall or taking down the shackles that's holding our heart. So that's really what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about doing it energetically. So if we can forgive, if we can really forgive, so if we can surrender, to the spirit that's within us, there's going to be no wall around our hearts. And that love and that energy is going to be able to flow freely, because that's how it's meant to flow. We're beings of great love. We're beings of great light. We're beings of just enormous capacity, and we just need to open up to it. So when all of our chakras are opened and in balance, life flows freely. And I did say that grief and other hurts, get stuck inside in the heart. So to balance the heart chakra, I've gone through a few things. I have some stuff on the flip chart here that I can see that's behind the camera. So when we lose love, it's really important that we get in touch with those emotions and that we do something about releasing what's stuck in our hearts. So we need to express it in a safe setting, in a safe environment, with somebody that's totally non-judgmental. Now, whether that's in a formal setting or an informal setting, it doesn't matter once it works for you. You express and release the painful emotions, painful relationships, painful losses that are in there. And to do this, self-love really has to step up a big notch, because if we really, really, really love and appreciate ourselves, we will do anything that will help us to be our best self. And when we can be our best self for ourselves, then we can be our best self for everybody else, starting with the people that are nearest and dearest to us, and expanding out to the point where you will want the best for everybody on the planet. Thoughts instantaneously manifest, so we really need to watch our thoughts. We're working with the heart, but I'm telling you need to watch your thoughts, because the thoughts form emotions, and emotions send signals to the brain, and the brain takes the action. Well, it gets your body to take the action, so we really need to watch them. Start thinking about the wall. Become intimate with that wall that is there, the pericardium. It's there to protect you. Okay, so just tell it, how much you love it and how much you are grateful for it to be there. But, you need it to stay soft. You need the energy to flow in and out through this pericardium. Wear green. Eat greens. Okay, so, we know cabbage, kale, lettuce, spinach, green peppers, green apples, anything green. Okay, so wear the green, eat the greens. decorate with green, you know, and we do have the whole house in this very soft, well, the whole of downstairs, and it's called Calm Spirit. So emerald, jade, rose quartz, malachite, kyanite, they're some of the crystals that would be good, you know. There's rose quartz, so the colour of the heart is really green, but very often we say that, you know, because rose quartz is unconditional love, so this is the colour for the heart as well. So whatever colour makes you feel connected and vital really is good to wear, but green is the colour for the heart, really. I was walking yesterday, not sure where I put it now. Oh, here it is. And I was just talking actually to my partner about the heart chakra because I was preparing it yesterday. And just as I mentioned the heart chakra, this just dropped on the ground in front of me. Look at it, a perfect heart. Like it's, I don't know, it's an ivy leaf, I think. And it just literally fell down in front of me. And I picked it up and I said, well, if that's not a good indicator and a sign for me, and these are the kind of signs that you will get, you know, when you actually connect and open up your heart, the signs are there. So I just wanted to see what else did I say. The heart is about compassion, it's about love, touch. That's why massage would be really good, you know. Emotional zone, Mr. Emotional Zone. It's for self-acceptance, forgiveness, and it also balances the masculine and the feminine aspects of ourselves. So we talk about the brain, you know, on the right and the left side and the coordination between both. But we can also talk about the heart, because it balances the male and the female side of that. I'm completely loved and lovable would be a really nice affirmation. I see somebody's asking there about a crystal. So any green crystals, green tourmaline, any green crystals would be good for the heart. And I put down a few yesterday because I was doing a meditation. So emerald, jade, kyanite, green tourmaline, malachite, they would all be good. But you know, anything green really. Hello everybody, I have loads of people joining me here this morning. So I will post this and you will be able to watch the replay, because I know that when I actually do this training, it's really important to continue until everything that's coming through is said. Practice self-compassion, loving and accepting yourself in a way that's right for you. And you know, if you really want to do something and you feel that your work isn't conducive to being able to help others, do something on a voluntary capacity, you know, and allow your heart to open and just be able to give to others. Forgiveness is huge. So forgive yourself if you think you've done wrong, or if you think that you could have done more, or if there's anything that you've been judging yourself about, just forgive yourself and let it go, because we want to really have everything unstuck and free, and forgive others. It's really important. Playing and laughing and playing with children, and that's just really for joy. It opens up our heart. Do something special for someone, but do it that you don't do it, you know, for credit or praise or recognition. Maybe they don't even know about it, you know, so a random act of kindness, but don't expect anything in return. Get into nature and appreciate its beauty. Again, I said wear green, bend backwards, follow your passion and love your life. So unstuck or unhurt is what Anahata really means. So as I said at the very beginning, the heart integrates the world of matter with the world of spirit, and loving ourselves and others really helps to open and balance our heart center. Give love, be love. And that's, of course, my folder is also green, so it must have been in the heart center when I created it in the first place. So I suppose that's it from the heart chakra for now, and like we could go into great depths with all of the chakras, but it's my intention to make it practical and make it in such a way that you will be able to work with it, and you will be able to free up your chakras and have a brighter and more loving life. So thank you all for being with me this morning. I will post it now, and tomorrow at 11 I will do the throat center. Okay, and thank you too. You're welcome, Una. God bless you all. Have a beautiful day. Go out into nature.